Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about upcoming severe weather potential today and a snow chance the next few days coming up. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that in today's video. So yeah, also I did change some of the settings on the video, so it should appear, you should see more of the bottom and some of the rest of the screen also that wasn't in the video yesterday that I posted. So there is a little bit of differences here that I made to the screen adjustments on the video. Okay. So let's look at today's agenda here. We have first the National Weather Service alerts as usual, then our cold front for the eastern U.S. like yesterday, then our severe weather threat today. I plan on trying to have in the live stream in just a little bit after this video is posted. Fourth, a snow chance part A, and then we're going to split into two parts because there's a different part here with the same storm bringing snow. And fifth is snowstorm chance part B. So there's going to be a snow chance today, and this is the one chance that will be this weekend with that same storm here. So let's get into today's video here. Okay, here we are looking at the National Weather Service alerts here. We have quite a bit of wind chill warnings now, or wind chill advisories, and then wind chill warnings up here issued here because of these very cold temperatures here for most of the Midwest here. Seeing possibly some areas up there seeing near negatives. I know for my area, we're seeing about tomorrow some 19 degrees as a high, so it's going to be pretty cold tomorrow in my area here. Also, we have some winter weather advisories in effect here for some of these areas here for Arkansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Some winter weather advisories going on. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, so be careful for some severe weather. I'll try to be live in a little later today here. I'll try my best there to be live. It looks like we also have some winter weather advisories and some winter storm warnings for maybe even Texas here, it looks like. So that is surprising because it shows that maybe some of that precip may make it all the way down near Texas. And maybe even winter weather advisories here for Louisiana and Mississippi because there may be a little bit of a mix somewhere in there, it shows on the models here. And then we see our area where we're going to see part B of the storm under a severe, or winter storm watch here. So, and then winter weather advisory here for it looks like northeast too. It looks like. So let's get into the cold front here. Okay, here is our cold front. We kind of looked at this yesterday. We're gonna look at this again. The blues mean cold. The red means warm. It's a little different from what I used to look at here. And you see this cold air is moving down, and this is causing our snow here for some of these areas. We were building up warm air, and then this cool air just took out most of this warm air here. And some areas getting like near 10 to 15 degrees below average here. So as you can see, this cold air just plunges into the southeastern United States, and this is bringing us our snow potential for some of these areas down here. This cold is bringing that. Also in the middle where we're seeing the warm and cold meet up, that's where we can see some severe weather in there, especially in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, where there's more ingredients there for severe weather. Okay, I was just saying we were talking about severe weather, and here we are looking at severe weather chance today. It was upgraded to a slight risk severe weather. So we have general thunderstorms, as usual, a marginal risk for Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, so getting very close to Oklahoma. And then we also have 2 out of 5 on the scale, slight risk here for Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas here. We already have some watches in effect for some of this area, so be careful tonight if you're in these areas. There's a 5% chance of tornadoes and a 15% chance of hail and wind in these areas, so be very careful if you're in that area tonight. Like I said, there is a tornado risk here, and I want to look a little more into that here. We have a 2% chance, as you can see, of tornadoes, and we also have a 5% right here in the Texas-Louisiana area near the border here. We also have an active storm going on up there. Hopefully that doesn't become tornadic, but this is the most favorable area of a few tornadoes potentially this afternoon into tonight. So we'll have to watch that area very, very closely during this time frame. I talked about this very briefly yesterday, and I'm not going to talk too much about it today because I talked a lot more in depth yesterday on this. But just for these new people watching my videos, S mean on there's a slim, and S means shear. And on the models we look at bulk shear, lift. L is lift, and lift is like a front, like a cold front coming through. I is instability, like CAPE, convective available potential energy, and M is moisture. Dew points is what we look at the models for, and that's slim. So yeah, I wanted to real briefly look at that again for some of our new viewers watching the channel. Okay, here we are looking at reflectivity, and we're seeing some strong thunderstorms developing for Louisiana, Texas. We also have a line of thunderstorms for portions of Mississippi. We also have another line of storms that decides to develop near Texas and Oklahoma there. It looks like later tonight, and then it becomes more of a rainmaker later on. We'll have to watch for tomorrow for any development of severe weather, but it doesn't look too severe by tomorrow. But we'll have to watch the next few hours because it looks like there is some individual supercells in here maybe, and maybe a little later on too as it turns into a line there. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely next few hours. So that's why I said I probably will be live in just a little bit, hopefully. Okay, here we are now looking at the CAPE here, our convective available potential energy. We have actually a lot more than I think we did yesterday now. We have about 1,000 joules per kilogram, getting near 2,000 joules per kilogram, proportion of Texas mainly, but we do have some for Louisiana also, so we're going to have to watch that here, and then as we go on, the CAPE values go really down here. So that's some good news here, but we will have about 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas potentially, but it just goes down as the afternoon into evening into tonight. It just goes down, so we'll see less of a severe weather threat for Louisiana and Mississippi, but there is just a little bit of CAPE maybe for portions of near Baton Rouge, some of those areas, but probably nothing too big there. With 100 joules per kilogram, that isn't really too much here of CAPE. Our dew points are very high right now, around 60s. That's another ingredient you need, about 60s, so those are pretty good here, as you can see. So, and it continues 60s for this area later tonight too, but there's not enough CAPE in that area, so most likely we won't see much of a severe threat. It'll be mainly a rain threat, it looks like, for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama there, as that rain moves through. Lapse rates, this is what we look at for hail. So if we're looking for hail, that's where our deeper colors and stuff are. And we're not seeing much colors here of lapse rate here, so I'm not seeing much, so we might not see much of a hail threat. Maybe later on tonight it shows me a little more, but by this time the CAPE's gone, so there's nothing to feed those storms. So by this time there is a little bit in northern Texas, it looks like, so there is a potential for some hail, but the more later on we go, we see less lapse rates down here, so the less potential of hail as we go on into the evening, into tonight. Bulk shear here, we have actually quite a bit of bulk shear, maybe near 40 knots for most of these areas. So that's why we're going to need to watch for a few tornadoes here for some of these areas here, because we have about 40 knots here. Even some areas in Arkansas, Mississippi, maybe a little bit of Louisiana seeing near 80 knots near maybe. But by this time there's no food for the thunderstorms, like CAPE. So there's nothing for them to feed on, so we can't really see any tornadoes without them having their energy there. So that is some good news as we go on later on tonight. More bulk shear, but by that time all the convective energy is gone. Okay, now we're looking at the LCL height. This is something else we look at for tornadoes. The lower it is, the better chance for tornadoes to touch the ground. This area does have low LCL height here, especially in that 5% area, so I can see why they put out 5%, because there's going to be very low values of LCL height and some bulk shear in that area, so that's part of the reason why we have a 5% chance here, because there's not much LCL height around that region here, so we're going to have to watch that area for a few tornadoes later this evening into tonight. Now, this is the significant tornado parameter. Basically puts all the parameters together and gives you the chances of seeing a significant tornadoes for some of these areas. I like to think of it as, if this is a significant tornado parameter, this means your odds of seeing a weak tornado are a lot higher. So on the significant tornado parameter, it goes away by later tonight, as you can see, but they're pretty high at first here. Look at this, we have about 1 on the significant tornado parameter. Luckily we don't have too high of values. Luckily we don't have a tornado outbreak kind of values, but we do have quite a bit of values here, and then it just goes away as the night goes on, as we lose that convective available potential energy here for most of these areas. So that's some good news here. So yeah, but we do have that lift that's helping these storms. So we basically have all the ingredients, just the cape is what's stopping it from being a bigger outbreak. So that's some good news we have there. Okay, now we're going to start talking about our snow chance part A here. So what we're watching is the snow chance for areas of Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, heading into the northeast. See the snow continues up into the northeast here, up in near New Jersey, near Newmarket, near Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. So some of those areas seeing snow, continuing into Delaware, and then it continues into, it looks like, Virginia here, and it just continues off the coast of Virginia and then finally heads off. So yeah, that is the first part of the snowstorm, but it tries to redevelop later on near North Carolina, bringing some mix for this area, so we're going to have to watch that very, very closely. We'll talk a little more in depth about it in just a little bit. And then you can see that cold front, that major cold front here. See the severe weather side here, and then the snowy side up here. So yeah. Let's fast forward here to our snow totals here. So basically the grays are about a dusting. Blues, lighter blues are about an inch. Darker blues are about 2 inches. And then like whites, purples, maybe about 3 inches. So we see here in Kentucky, we see about, it looks like 1 to 2 inches. It looks mainly for most of Kentucky. Virginia looks like 1 to 2 here. Maybe a few isolated spots of 3. 1 to 3 it looks like here for Virginia. Mainly 1 to 2, but maybe some isolated spots of 3. And then off the coast here, I think this is where we're going to see our most amounts, especially for Delaware and New Jersey, it looks like. We have about 1 to 3 here, maybe an isolated spot of 4 near Maryland and Delaware, maybe. New Jersey, about 3 inches, maybe, 1 to 3 probably. So, and then more for Virginia here. We could see some snow about probably 1 to 2 inches down here. So, yeah. Okay, now we're looking at Snowstorm Chance Part B, where we have that winter storm watch in effect right now. We see that there will be some snow that develops later on, some mix for parts of North Carolina, South Carolina. It shows on this particular model, the European model we're looking at, that it'll bring a little bit of snow maybe to the coast here, and then it'll head out. So it doesn't look like we're going to get much snow from it, according to what this model shows, but it shows we may see quite a bit of a mix of ice and snow maybe, and then snow, but it doesn't show much for South Carolina and stuff. So yeah, but this is a very interesting storm we're going to have to watch. It could even bring some snow and stuff near Texas and Louisiana potentially too. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely there. Okay, now we're looking at our ice totals part B here, and we see it goes from all the way to Georgia, all the way back to North Carolina here, with about not much of ice, maybe a dusting of ice, not really too much ice. And then as we go into those darker shades of pink, as we're seeing more ice, and then these blue shades are probably about half an inch of ice here. So yeah, we see, it looks like the most ice will be for South and North Carolina here in this area. Looks like you're going to see quite a bit of ice there, or maybe half an inch of ice potentially near. So maybe some isolated smaller amounts for maybe some areas near the border of South Carolina and North Carolina, maybe. So we'll have to watch this very closely. If you're in this area, be prepared for maybe some ice here. So yeah. And here are your snowstorm totals, part B of the storm. We see potentially quite a bit of snow according to your, or actually this is actually GFS we're looking at, because this is the European, sorry. The ice accumulations with the GFS. This is the European model. It's showing quite a bit of snow here, even though it looks like it doesn't last too long. There's quite a bit of snow here for portions of Virginia and North Carolina here. It shows about probably near 7 inches, it looks like, for some of these areas. I think that's a little overdone there, but I think maybe 1 to 5 potentially possible in that area. Maybe 3 to 5 inches, maybe some isolated spots of 6, but I don't know about 7 inches. That's quite a bit there. So yeah, we'll watch that the next few days, but yeah, we'll have to watch this very, very closely. It looks like right now, according to what it shows, it thinks the most snow will be for portions of North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely the next few days. I'll try to provide updates here. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. It would help a lot. So yeah, I'm going to try to stream in just a little bit. Also, I may be out of school, maybe Thursday and Friday potentially. So if I am, I'll try to make a video maybe sooner than usual. So I'm just letting you know that ahead of time if you're wondering, why are you scheduling a video so early? I thought you had school. It's because either I got canceled, or if I post around my regular time, it means I probably didn't cancel. They didn't cancel it, but I'll let you know probably in the videos if they canceled school or not. But we'll see. Thank you guys though for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help a lot. And see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.